Hello there. In this tutorial I'll be showing you how to create and interpret a matrix scatter plot. Now I've loaded some agricultural data of yield, rainfall and temperature from 63 to 70. The command to create a scatter plot is plot. In the brackets we put the name of the data set. In square brackets we put down here 2 to 4. This means that we are going to use columns 2, 3 to 4. So we're missing column 1. This is the matrix scatter plot we get. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scatter plots. The only thing to work out now is what is the y-axis and x-axis of each scatter plot. The rule is simple. The name, the label that appears on the row serves as the y-axis for the graphs of the row. So if we take this first row, we see that there's the word yield. So this will serve as the y-axis for the graphs on the same row. So for this graph, the y-axis is yield. For this graph, the y-axis is yield. The second thing is that the label that appears in a column will serve as the x-axis for that column. So again, if we look at this yield, it's in the first column, therefore it will be the x-axis for the graph in the first column. This one is going to be x-axis for this column. Let's pick a graph and see if we can put the rules to the test. Let's pick this one. It's in row 2 and in column 3. Well, it's in row 2 and the label in row 2 is rainfall. So the y-axis here is rainfall. It's in column 3 and the label in column 3 is temperature. So therefore the x-axis is temperature. So for this graph, the x-axis is temperature and the y-axis is rainfall. Right, to see whether you've understood the principle, have a think about what is the y-axis and x-axis for this graph. Okay, well let's hope you've got the right answer. For this plot, the x-axis is rainfall and the y-axis is yield. Let's do one more. How about this bottom left one? Right, the answer is that the x-axis is yield and the y-axis is temperature. I hope you see now that reading a matrix scatter plot isn't so hard. In fact, it's pretty easy. One final comment before we leave this. Not all these scatter plots will be useful. Let's think about the variables we have here. We've got yield, rainfall, temperature. Now it's likely that the dV, the dependent variable, is what? Is yield, yeah? And the independent variables are rainfall and temperature. Okay, so knowing this, which of these graphs are useful? Well, I hope again that this tutorial has been useful. Goodbye.